Unmatched is famous for having an extensive roster of playable characters, but with so many matchups available, it is extremely difficult to play them all. In this series, we will be analyzing a variety of matchups in detail and hopefully discover some hidden gems. Join me as we explore the latest matchup of the month. If you're a fan of the channel, consider supporting me on Patreon. For as little as $1 per month, you can help me continue to bring you premier Unmatched content. Unlock exclusive rewards by becoming a patron today.
What's up guys, Zero Skater here, and we're back for another matchup of the month for November. This one featuring Golden Bat versus Doctor Strange. So, yeah, last episode we had She-Hulk, now we have Doctor Strange. Sorry. Patrons pick the matchups, not me. But you know, at least Doctor Strange has got some interesting things going on, right? He can be a little cool, so let's hold off on judgment just yet. But yeah, it's going to be, I think, an interesting one, to say the least. I don't know that Golden Bat can keep up with Doctor Strange, seeing he is an S-tier fighter. He can play a really mean fatigue game, but he can also just OTK you out of nowhere if you're not careful, and Golden Bat doesn't have the best defenses, so I don't know how this one's going to go, but we're going to find out. And sorry that it's late. I know we're playing a bit of catch-up here with Matchup of the Month, but I'm finally done with the semester, so I have more free time, and I will be catching up with both November and December, and then hopefully January shortly after, so stick tight. You know, I'm getting it done. Thank you for your patience and all the support from everybody, and I can't wait to get into this one. But as always, guys, be sure to attack that like button if you enjoy the video, and subscribe for more Unmatched content. And with that said, let's not wait any longer. We will jump on over and check out Doctor Strange versus Golden Bat.
Alright, so here we are on Vorpal board, as always, to check out our first fighter being Golden Bat. So Golden Bat, again, being one of the new fighters from the Tales to Amaze set, which is an amazing new set. I would highly recommend it to everybody. It's got the co-op mode, as well as 4 awesome new fighters for competitive play, or free-for-all, or whatever, 2v2, you know, whatever mode you want to play. The fighters work in all of those, and they're a lot of fun and a lot of interesting dynamics in all different modes of play. But obviously we focus on 1v1 competitive play on the channel here. But let's take a look at Golden Bat. He is a solo fighter. He is melee, but he is move 3 at least, so they got that right. So he's pretty mobile being move 3, and his boost values are not the best, but they're not the worst, as we'll get into. But anyways, he's got 18 starting health, which is pretty dang beefy. And his ability is the first superhero. It says, if you haven't taken a maneuver action this turn, add +2 to the value of Golden Bat's attacks. So, kind of like Big Alice or Khonshu, you're getting +2 added onto your combat values. But the condition is you haven't maneuvered this turn. That means if you start your turn adjacent to your opponent, because you're melee, you're able to make an attack and you get a +2, that's amazing. But of course, if you're not adjacent to your opponent and you have to maneuver up first as your first action to get adjacent, you're just going to be attacking normal, and that feels really bad. So the deck obviously is made around not taking a maneuver for your first action. In order to do that, one of the best ways, of course, is to force the initiative onto your opponent, meaning they have to take the initiative to maneuver up to attack you, and then you can keep them there, maybe feinting their attack so there's no after combat movement, or there's another trick, as we'll see later in the deck with Terrifying Roar. Much like the T-Rex, you keep them in place. And that's really good for keeping them adjacent. So forcing the initiative onto the opponent is the best way you're going to do that. How do you force initiative? Well, it's all about deck counts and calculating, your odds in fatigue and all that good stuff. It's a lot of, complicated things to Unmatched, but it's just fundamentals, basically. But anyways, let's get into the deck, and we will see the first card here, Super Strength, or as I like to call Captain Planet. It's just a 5-value attack, and of course that is a 7 if you have his ability online, which is pretty insane. A 7 value with no downside. We've seen some other 7s in the game, like Wukong's Ox Form, but that lets the opponent boost their defense. We've seen... what other 7s are in the game? Like, there's a number of cards that can bump up to a 7 with, like, boosting during combat, but again, that requires 2 cards. It requires your effect to not get canceled, so it's very conditional. But this thing is just a flat 7. If you hit this over a feint, you deal 5 damage. That's insane. So nobody ever wants to feint against Golden Bat when he's got his ability online for fear of this mega punishment from Captain Planet. So very, very strong card. Definitely something to be afraid of there. We'll move on to the next card being Vaporizing Eye Beams. This is a 2-value attack. After combat, your opponent discards a random card. So it is nearly an ambush. It just doesn't get the buff from the discarded card's boost value like ambush does, but still very, very strong nonetheless, because a lot of times ambush, any damage you get from an ambush is cool. I mean, that's bonus damage, sure, but it's mainly used for the random discard, and you have 3 of these in the deck, so that's really good for a value game. And of course, best thing you can do for an ambush is feint it, right? Because it's a 2-value attack, no damage dealt. But if your ability's online and they want to feint this, sure, they'll stop the discard, but they're going to take 2 damage from feinting. So really, really strong in this deck especially. Next card, a Punch to Shake the Earth. This one's a little bit underwhelming in a lot of matchups, but what it does, it's a 1-value attack. After combat, deal a damage to each opposing fighter in your zone, and if you won the combat, you deal 2 damage instead. So this is actually really good against certain fighters with a lot of 1-health sidekicks. You know, somebody like Wukong that's spawning a bunch of clones, or somebody like Medusa with the Harpies. A lot of times they want to body block the hero by grouping up the clones, making a wall. This is just going to knock that wall down real easy. So it's a really good tool in certain matchups, but then in other matchups it's kind of just like a dead card because it's only a 1. Even with your ability, it's only a 3. Even 3-value attacks are not likely to win, you know, after combat. So you're probably not dealing the 2 auto damage. You're probably just dealing the 1. You know, auto damage sometimes it can add up. So definitely important. And I think in the matchup against Doctor Strange that we're going to see, that's especially important. So it's actually quite good in this case. But generally, it's either one of the best cards in the deck or one of the worst cards, just depending on your matchup because of the way this works. But it's a great tool to have the option of nonetheless. And then we're going to move into his defensive package, which is this blue 5. He laughs at your feebleness. So this is a top tier card name for sure, and it is a top tier defense as well. I always talk about how good a max value block is. Max value block being a 4. That's something like a skirmish or whatever, but typically a 4 value is the highest value block that you're going to have. But a 5 pushes that limit. It's just crazy. A flat 5, yeah, it's no effect, but so good at value blocking. You play it against Bigfoot's Log, you're only taking 1 damage. You play it against an Ox form, you're only taking 2 without even boosting. Or more applicable, I guess, in the case of Doctor Strange, I don't think he's dealing any damage over the top of this, no matter what, because he could do bolts, which is only going to max boost up to a 5. So, yeah, this thing is just an amazing defense card. Nothing tricky about it, just great value. Next card is going to be Imposing Presence. This is a 3-value blue. Immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card. Very, very good. This is your feint. It's a cancel. It's only defensive, but it's literally a Just Your Imagination from Bigfoot's deck. 2 copies in the deck, just like Just Your Imagination. So card for card, you know, it's the same thing, but really, really strong. Next card is Like a Flash of Golden Light, and I will say this is one of the more underrated cards, maybe, in my opinion, because I think this card is insanely strong. So it's a 2-value versatile. It says, during combat, if Golden Bat shares no zones with the space he started this turn in, this card's value is 4 instead. So that effect is just like Jump Scare from Bloody Mary. You have to not be in a zone that you started the turn in. So you have to move out of the zone. So kind of like a momentous shift, but a little bit different trigger. But also, after combat, you're going to move up to 5 spaces, and 5 is a lot of movement. That's really good. Just don't underestimate how good 5 spaces of movement is. That's crazy. So you just get to run in, hit with an attack, and dip out. And it bumps up to a 4 instead of a 5 like shift, so it's not quite that strong, but the movement definitely makes up for it. And this is great at playing a value-oriented game where you want to just poke with attacks as passes and then force your opponent to approach you. It's great for setting up initiative because if your opponent, let's say, has 7 cards in their hand, you move up, even though you're not getting your ability online, you hit with this, you bounce back. Okay, they defended it. And sure, you probably didn't deal any damage. It's a 4, which is respectable, but if they max value block it, you didn't deal any damage. But then you got away 5 spaces. Now the opponent is sitting at 6 cards in hand because they used 1 to defend. Now they have the initiative on them because they're either going to double maneuver and they're going to go up to 8, and they're going to have to discard it to an overdraw, or they're going to have to boost in and attack you so that they're not wasting a card for nothing. They'll use the card as a boost instead. But again, you're 5 spaces away, so first of all, certain fighters might not even be able to move that far if they don't have specific cards in their deck with like a 3 boost value, for instance. Secondly, usually the better cards in the deck have higher boost values, so even if they can get to you, it requires probably a higher boost, which is more likely a better card, rather than if they double maneuver and they overdraw, they're discarding like some junk, you know, the worst card in their hand. So it definitely is really good for playing the value game, and this card is just crazy. If you're able to get this card with your ability, that means it's a 6, so even if they feint it because they don't want you to get away, you're still dealing 2 damage because it's a 4 because of your ability. So this card is just crazy, crazy good, and definitely not something to be underestimated. Next card is a Terrifying Roar. I mentioned this earlier. It's we've seen it in T-Rex's deck before. It's just a 3-value versatile. It says immediately fighters cannot leave their space for the rest of the turn. That's both fighters. So Golden Bat himself also could not get away. I think I've made the mistake before of using this card when I actually did want to move away, like I use this first action, and that's a big mistake. So keep that in mind. It's both fighters cannot leave the space. And overall, this is a great card because, again, like I said, if people want to come in and they want to attack you and they want to hit with some kind of after combat movement effect so that they're not ending adjacent to you and they force you to take a maneuver first, you know, shutting down your ability before you get to them for an attack, well, this ruins their day because it's an immediate effect. It's not going to, you know, even a feint or whatever. There's nothing's going to stop this when you use this on defense, basically. So you're going to stop them in place, and then that means that you're guaranteed to have your ability online for a first action attack come the next turn. So Terrifying Roar is a really good card to have in 3 of. Next card, this is a little lackluster. It's called Sight Beyond Sight, 2-value versatile. After combat, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and put them back in any order. Now, only a 2-value. It's not a great defense. It's also not a great attack because attacking always is like an opportunity cost, because if your ability's online, you probably want to be hitting with something that's going to deal some real damage, not just a 2 that becomes a 4. And if you're defending, you're costing yourself health because it's only a 2-value block, and that's really weak. So there's definitely an opportunity cost in using this card, but its effect is pretty good. I mean, you get extra info on what is upcoming, so you can play, you know, plan out your turns a little bit better, and you also can kind of check things off the list of what your opponent may or may not have at the current moment because you know 3 cards that they guaranteed don't have. So that can definitely help. Like if you attack with this first action and they don't play a movement effect, then you're able to get your second attack maybe a bit better of an outcome based on the knowledge you get with this card. So like the card's okay, but it's not great. It's definitely kind of like the regroup of the deck. But hey, every deck's got to have weaker cards, right? All right, next card is going to be Insight of the Ancients, 3-value versatile. After combat, if you won the combat, return a random card in your discard pile to your hand. So this card's really good. It gives you some recursion, although there's only 2 copies of it, and it is random. So unlike, you know, Devil of Hell's Kitchen and Reprogram and whatnot, or Sensational or whatever it is, Knowledge of the Craft, you don't get to pick, so that makes it much less good. You also have to win the combat. It's only a 3, so you're not likely to win combat on defense most of the time with this. Playing it on offense, you probably have to have your ability online if you ever want a chance at winning the combat with the 3-value attack, because it needs to bump up to a 5. So I don't know. This card's okay. There are times when this card feels really, really good, but there are also times when this card completely falls flat and it just feels bad. Feels like a blank 3 because that's what it is in certain circumstances. So it's a very swingy card. It has, you know, a lot of high roll potential, but it really just depends on how luck is smiling on you that day. So next card is going to be Skirmish. We've seen this before. This is the standard max value block. It's a great card to have in this deck, especially because you don't have a lot of high value blocks other than the Feebleness, laughs at your Feebleness card. So this is really great, and also you can use this on offense as a 6-value attack with your ability online. So again, if it's fainted, I mean that's 4 damage. If it's not fainted, you're still probably dealing at least 2 damage, and you get to have the skirmish effect to move away to try and force the initiative back on your opponent to approach you, and again, keep getting your ability. So skirmish, really, really good card to have. Next card, a couple of schemes left. We have Arrive Just in Time. So Just in Time just puts Golden Bat in any space. So it's like a what is that, Mist Form from Dracula, although it doesn't gain you an action. But still a really good card to have because, again, it lets you move without maneuvering. keep that in mind. Your ability is keyword maneuver. So if it's not a maneuver action, your ability is online. So when you warp to them from across the map with just in time, you smack them with Captain Planet, man. That's a 7 coming at them. So this card is really, really great card to have. Next card is very similar. This is Alpine Fortress. So it's another card that's going to trigger your ability. So you get to choose a card in your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. And then you draw 2 cards, and then you move Golden Bat up to 4 spaces. So there's a lot going on with this card, but it's a really, really, really good card. Definitely the key. It's the glue that holds this deck together. This is the best card in the deck easily. So a lot of things to unpack. You have 3 copies, first of all, which is really, really good. It's a 3 boost, but you almost never, ever want to use this to boost because you'd rather just play it for its effect, get your movement without maneuvering, which means your ability is online. So the 3 boost really is just more punishing than anything. Like if it gets hit by an ambush, it feels extra bad because now you gave them also +3 onto the ambush on top of losing like your best card in the deck. So that's really bad. But anyways, choose a card in your discard pile, shuffle it into your deck. So you do have some recursion. You can recur 3 cards total over the course of the game. That means, do you need more value from I-beams? Great, go for that. You need more damage? Okay, get Captain Planet back. You know, you need I don't know, more mobility. Get this back. That's one of the best things you can do with this card is just get back other copies of itself so that every time you draw into it, you just keep using it and using it and using it, and it's giving you 4 movement. So then you're like a move 4 fighter, and you are having your ability online more often than not. So a lot of times Alpine is just recurring more Alpines until it gets later into the game, and then you're actually going to start recurring the remaining tools that you need to close out the game. But this card's just incredible. So you do that, choose your card, you shuffle it in, then you're going to draw your 2 cards. So you have a potential of drawing the card you just shuffled in. If you're at the very end of the deck, you're going to guarantee that you draw into what you just shuffled in. So that's really good. You're getting a +1 hand count out of this card. So even if you Alpine to recur itself, you're still swapping this card for a different card and getting another card like as if you maneuvered, but you didn't maneuver. And then you get to move up to 4 spaces after you draw your cards, which is really good because that is like a maneuver. A lot of times effects say, you know, well, I can't think of the example, but I know there's another card where you move first. I want to say it's Yanenga's One with the Land. You have to move first, and then you draw your card last. So that means you don't have the knowledge of what you have upcoming in order to make your positioning choices. But with this card, you do. So you get to see what you're drawing into before you make your movement decision. That's really good. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it definitely can be a big deal. If you know play this guy a lot, you'll start to notice those instances where that really makes a difference. So this card is just absolutely insane. Again, best card in the deck easily. It's just ridiculous. This makes the character, and it makes him definitely a big time threat. And that's Golden Bat, you know, for you. Overall, he hits really hard, but he's not necessarily an aggro fighter because he doesn't have a lot of card draw. But he's definitely a scary fighter. He's more of a heavy hitter like Alice in a sense. But it's all about initiative with this guy because if you can force the initiative onto your opponent, you're going to have a lot more opportunities of attacking with your ability online. That's really, really good. And otherwise, if you have the initiative forced on you as the Golden Bat player, your only options then for getting your ability are your schemes, right? And sure, you have 5 of them, and Alpine can keep recurring, so it's definitely still good enough. But if you can just get that initiative onto the opponent for free, I mean, that's great, you know. And if you do have the initiative as Golden Bat, what you're going to want to do is, like I mentioned, you know, with Flash of a Golden Light, you're going to want to run in there, poke, and hop back so that you can force the initiative onto the opponent, kind of get things, you know, flipped around there, get ahead in the deck count from attacking as passes and making them come after you. So you're pretty dang good in fatigue, surprisingly, even though you're a solo melee fighter. But Alpine really just gives you so much value. It's crazy. Along with the vaporizing I-beams and the potential recursion of, you know, Inside of the Ancients, you got a great value game. So Golden Bat, definitely a very strong fighter, but I just don't know how he's going to hold up to Doctor Strange. So let's go ahead and move on to talk about him coming up next. All right, so here we are with our next fighter being Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange was from the Marvel Brains and Brawn set, which was the final Marvel set that released earlier this year. And he is a ranged fighter, move 2, with Wong as his sidekick, who's also ranged. And Strange has 14 health, Wong has 6, so that's a combined total of 20. and the ability Dark Pact. So after each combat, if Doctor Strange played a card, you may deal 1 damage to him. If you do, put that card on the bottom of your deck and draw 1 card. So it's a really, really strong ability because you're paying 1 health for essentially a free card because it doesn't change the deck count since you're putting 1 card to the bottom and drawing a card, but it lets you reuse cards more than once, which is just really good value. And it's keeping your hand count up almost infinitely as long as you want to, pay the health to do so. And that's really, really strong. So Doctor Strange almost can never be pressured too much because, yeah, you can pressure his health total, but you can't necessarily pressure his hand size because he can just keep using his ability to get cards back for free. And important to note that this is offense or defense, but it's only Doctor Strange playing the card. If Wong plays the card, he is not able to use the Dark Pact ability. So definitely keep that in mind. But really, really strong. So what is Doctor Strange all about? Well, let's go through the deck and we can see a little bit. The first card being Bolts of Balthak. So during combat, you may blind boost this card. After combat, if you won the combat, gain an action. So this is a 2 value any. So actually Wong could use this as well, but you usually see, I think, Doctor Strange use it more often than not, because then you have the option of recycling it back. So if you want to play an aggressive style Strange, you want to be throwing this often and using the ability to put it back into the deck, because not only is that more opportunities to draw into this card to use it for, kind of combo chains, but it's also a 3 value boost. So if you blind boost one of itself, it bumps it up to a 5 value attack, which is almost guaranteed to win the combat against most, max value blocks. Except for Golden Bat does have the flat 5, as I mentioned before, so that will full cancel, which is really important actually in the matchup. But anyways, Bolts of Balthak, blind boosting means you pull the top card off of your deck and you discard it. Strange does hate discarding cards because any card discarded is not a card he's going to get back. He doesn't have any real recursion from the discard pile. He just has the recursion of cards as he plays them. So you don't necessarily want to be blind boosting, and that's the thing that's a little bit frustrating with Strange is he looks like he wants to be a crazy, like high kind of roulette style fighter where you're blind boosting a bunch, going for big money plays, but a lot of times you just decline the blind boost because it's optional and you just play a mean value game. So, um, anyways, the option of having bolts for combos is pretty cool, so I'll give him that. Next card is the Winds of Watum. It's a Doctor Strange only attack, red 4. After combat, your opponent places Strange in a starting space, and then you put the opposing fighter in another starting space, and then all players shuffle their decks. So when you attack with this with Strange, they get to blow you away first, then you get to blow them away next to whatever starting space, so it kind of resets. But interesting to note is that it's only the fighters in the combat. It's not, any sidekicks or anything else that are around the board, so keep that in mind. Also, place effects have to be empty, so you obviously can't place each other in a starting space that is occupied. So even if Doctor Strange moves into a starting space and attacks with this, the opponent cannot place Strange in that same starting space that he is currently standing in, because even though they are going to pick him up and move him, he's currently occupying it, so it is not a valid target to be placed in. So that definitely can come into play when you're considering your positioning with this card. So usually this card is kind of, you just use it and you let it go. You don't often cycle it very often, but it's a decently good tool to have, especially if you want to try to force the initiative on the opponent, since it's going to reset your positions. Next card, the Rings of Ragador. This is the most frustrating card in the deck because after combat, if you won the combat, your fighter and each friendly fighter adjacent to them recover health equal to the damage dealt. It's a 4 value attack, so if this goes undefended, whoever attacked with this, because it's an any card, Wong can use it as well, so whoever attacked with it and any friendly adjacent is going to heal 4 health, and that's an 8 health swing if they take it undefended. That's like a Gaze of Stone from Medusa, which is absolutely ridiculous. And there's 3 copies of this in the deck, and he can keep recycling it at the cost of 1 health. So this card is just so annoying because it'll just keep cycling it over and over and over as long as that's Strange attacking with it. And they have to respect every single attack he throws, because if you take a Rings undefended, it's almost game over. Like, that's just such a health swing, and it refuels his health pool so that he can just keep using his ability more and more and more without any repercussion, because he's not afraid of dying. He's not close to that lethal range and whatnot. So this card is just absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that it even heals an adjacent friendly means Wong could attack with it with like Strange in adjacent to Wong, but in a different zone, like in a ranged matchup, and you can heal Strange without even putting him into any sort of danger, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So this card is just insane. This is the this is the reason, in my opinion, why Strange is so OP. So Rings of Ragador definitely changes the whole game. You got to respect every attack Strange throws at you. Next card is going to be Mists of Munapor. So the only blue in the deck, it's a Strange only, so Wong cannot use this. But it says immediately discard your opponent's card. They reveal cards from their deck until they reveal an attack or versatile card that they can play. They play that card and randomly put the rest of the revealed cards on the bottom of their deck. So there has been a ruling clarification or errata on this card for everybody. You guys need to know this. So previously, if you played Mists on defense against an opponent who has no cards in deck, this card would discard the opponent's card, and because there was nothing left in the deck, no other attack would come through. It would be like a full negate on the opponent's card because it would discard it immediately. So that means no card effects were going to trigger from it, no combat damage would be taken from it. It was literally a full negate, and that's absolutely stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the whole entire game ever. But thankfully, that was errated. That was not the intention of the card. So if there are no cards left in deck, or if the only cards left in deck aren't valid attacks, it will keep the current attack, and that will go over the top of Mists. So if Bigfoot is attacking with only a Jackalope Horn scheme in deck, he attacks with log into Mists. Mist is going to discard. Well, it's not going to discard the log yet. You're going to go through your deck first. You're going to see, oh, the only card left in deck is a scheme. It's not a valid attack. Okay, the horns goes back onto Bigfoot's deck, and the log stays in play and smacks for 4 damage over the top of Mists. So that is a game changer, absolute game changer, because again, this card was the stupidest thing in the world before. I mean, Strange is already good enough at fatigue, and to give him a full guaranteed negate defense once it got towards the end of the game was just so dumb. So thank goodness this card was errated or clarified, however you want to put it. It was not the original intention to, make this a full negate on empty deck, so you will not discard the attack card if there are no other valid attacks as you go through the deck. You will still go through the deck to check, and then you will still, put those cards on the bottom of their deck, so it just goes back to normal. But yeah, it won't discard the attack. So very, very important to know. But overall, I mean, this is still a really good card because if you use it before endgame, yeah, it's a little bit risky because if they pull out some really good card, then yeah, you get punished. But if it's a bad card that you pull out, then you got literally a free like mill off of your opponent's deck. You knocked a card out of their deck for free, and that's really, really good because obviously deck counts are a huge, huge thing in Unmatched. So very important. It can be a little risky, like if they are throwing a bait and you play Mists on the bait and then you pull out like the actual good card, like Bigfoot attacking with a regroup, you missed it, the regroup goes away, brings out a log, you get punished big time. But again, it could be the log attacking and then Mist gets rid of the log and pulls out a regroup. So it goes either way. It's literally just a roulette, RNG. So crazy card, a little risky in certain situations and in certain matchups more than others, but still pretty good overall. Next card is going to be Seven Sons of Cinnabis, 3 value versatile. If the value of this card is above 7, ignore its value. During combat, you can blind boost this card up to 2 times. So this card is potentially really insane. It has to be above 7 to ignore it. So if you blind boost it twice and you hit a 7 exact, that's fine. You got a 7 value card. Good for you. Like, that's pretty crazy, but it's very risky. So also, you need to know that you have to decide how many times to blind boost up front before you flip any of the cards over from the top of your deck for the blind boost. You can't, it's not like blackjack where you're like, okay, hit, and then you flip a card and like, oh, it's a low value. Okay, I'll hit again. No, you can't do that. You got to declare up front how many times you want to blind boost, and it's up to 2, so it could be 0, 1, or 2 as your options. With most of the boost values in the deck, like 2 is very average, so it's not likely that you will bump above 7 with this card. But, the most safe thing to do is use this on defense, and then you just blind boost once because then it's guaranteed not to bump above a 7. It could get up to a 6, but it's reliably a 5, and even at worst case, it's a 4, which is a max value block. So this is definitely your best defense card. You have a lot better attacks that you most likely want to be throwing in a lot of scenarios. So this is often a defense. And again, you can just keep cycling it over and over. So really, really good card here. Next card being Cloak of Levitation, also a really good card. It's great against melee because during combat, if Strange is adjacent to the opposing fighter, ignore the value of your opponent's card. So this is kind of like an ultimate defense in a way, because for melee fighters who have to come up and attack you, like Golden Bat, you're just going to ignore their value. So it doesn't matter how big, it doesn't matter if Captain Planet's coming for you at a 7. You're just going to ignore it anyways. So Cloak is really insane in this matchup in particular, and in any melee matchup. Against ranged, it's less so because they can just hit you from range, and that would make this a blank 2. But of course, you're just not going to play this in those scenarios, and there are still pockets you can sit in on certain maps to force adjacency, even in ranged matchups. And you can also use this on attack. And so if they don't feint it, you're going to ignore, their block, and you're going to deal 2 damage through it. So really, really good card. Being able to cycle this is just stupid in a lot of matchups. And again, a big contributor of why Strange is so annoying to play against. But I digress. We're going to go on to Master of Camartage. This is an any card, so during combat if Strange and Wong are adjacent, this card's value is 4 instead. And honestly, Wong really doesn't have a lot of cards to use in this deck. He doesn't have that much use, but it's crazy how important he is because of this card right here. Because Strange, as far as value blocking goes, if it's not melee, and Cloak can just shut it down, his only good defense option is Seven Suns if Camartage isn't online. Now, if this is online, okay, you just basically get 4 infinite max value blocks, because as long as you keep them grouped up, which why wouldn't you? Keep them adjacent, and then you just play this on defense for a 4, and then you recycle it, and you recycle it, and you recycle it. So you have like infinite max value blocks. That's just stupid good. No need to attack with this most of the time. You just defend with it. Wong can use it as well. Just important to note that, of course, if Wong's using it, it can't be recycled with the Dark Pact ability, because that's only for Strange, but still it's worth using a lot of times if it means keeping Wong alive, because then any of your other masters can be recycled. So surprisingly good card and makes Wong very valuable. Then we're going to see Feint. It's just your standard Feint. There's only 2 copies in the deck, but again, it can be recycled as long as it's Strange using it, so that's a little deceiving. It's not always 2 copies, but you love to see Feint always. And then Steadfast Disciple is the only Wong card in the deck. 2 value versatile. After combat, if Wong's adjacent to the opposing fighter, deal 1 damage to the opposing fighter and draw a card. So it's 1 ping damage. It's a card draw. It's fine. It's not the best card, but it's Wong specific. So if they're attacking Wong, you often want to be defending with this, because that way it doesn't matter that you can't cycle it because it's a Wong specific. And you're going to get a little ping and a card draw off of it to hopefully draw into more defenses that Wong can use. So it's the regroup of the deck, but it's fine. And we got 2 cards left, both being schemes. First one is No Really, I'm a Doctor. So reveal a card from your hand and put it on top of your deck, and Doctor Strange or a friendly fighter adjacent to him recovers health equal to that card's boost value. This card is absolutely insane. This is one of the craziest passes in the entire game. Again, pass means it's a scheme. It's not drawing a card or gaining an action, so it's delaying your fatigue clock. Not only is this a pass because it's an action that you're using to not draw, but you're even loading a card back onto your deck. So it's like a super pass in that regard. So if you play this and you reveal Bolts of Balthak, which is a 3 boost value, Bolts is going to go back on top of the deck. You're going to heal 3, and then that was 1 action, and then you can just maneuver and you'll draw into the Bolts. So you spent your whole turn's worth of actions drawing 0 cards. Your deck size didn't change 1 bit, and you plus 3 health. So that's just absolutely ridiculous when it comes to fatigue. There are 2 copies of this card in the deck. That's so stupidly good. This card is so dumb. So your 14 starting health is very deceiving. You're basically a starting health of 20, plus Wong of 6. So really ridiculous. And that's disregarding Ring's healing. So just absolutely insane value there. Also, you can do some really cool things sometimes of like playing Doctor first action, stacking up bolts, and then attacking with a bolts, and then you know that you have a 3 boost on top, right? So if you want to go for some kind of combo chain, or you for whatever reason you need that, you can set that up sometimes with this combo. So that's pretty cool as well. But 2 copies of this is that's like passing your whole entire turn is like a Vanish. Think of that. Invisible Man plays Vanish. His deck size doesn't change. He spends his whole turn's worth of actions. He heals 1. Doctor Strange plays this, stacks bolts, maneuvers, draws the bolts. Deck size didn't change. His health +3 versus Vanish from Invisible Man, which is +1. So think of it that way. This is like a Vanish on steroids. Like, oh my gosh, it's so stupidly good. And you almost never play this card with anything else other than a 3 boost value because why would you? You're just missing out on healing. So, wow, this card is just stupid. And speaking of stupid cards, the last one, I have Agamotto. Um, Basically, so you shuffle your hand into your deck, you draw 5, and you gain an action. So on the surface, it looks like this card is like, oh, okay, I want to be aggressive, so like I'm gonna spend my cards and then go down to like one card in hand, and it's I, and I'm gonna play I, and I'm gonna draw 5, gain an action, and I'm gonna attack again with like a newly built, full hand. Uh, and that sounds great until you realize that, well, your hand size never has to get down to one because you just keep using your ability to get cards back for free anyways. And not only that, but the trick with this card is you wait till you end your turn at 7 cards. You're Doctor Strange, you're ranged, you have rings, all this scary stuff. Opponent doesn't want to approach you, so they double maneuver up to 7 as well. Okay, now you're staring at each other. Well, you just take a maneuver for your first action. You draw up to 8. You play I. You shuffle all those 8 into your deck. You draw 5. You gain an action. You draw again from a second action maneuver. And now you have 6 cards in your hand. So you started with 7. You ended with 6. All the rest of the cards went in your deck. So now you've just added cards to your deck. And you've spent your whole turn's worth of actions. That is where this character really is just abused. Like, I don't think that was the intention of this card to be an absolute fatigue monster, but that is what this card does. It turns him into one of the most ridiculous fatigue monsters in the entire game. All of this stuff combined, I mean, you have 2 eyes, you have 2 No Really I'm a Doctors. That's 4 passes in the deck, but they're not passes. They're like double, triple passes. Like they're just absolutely insane passes. And your hand size never has to go down because your ability, so you just get to keep reusing things like rings that are just, whittling down your opponent's defenses, getting little points of healing here and there possibly, and you run them out of stuff and you just get max value rings at the end, and that puts you back up to full health, and then the game wasn't even close. So that's Doctor Strange for you. He is just stupid good. And again, the versatility of being able to like go try to OTK if necessary, or depending on the game state and the matchup, sometimes that's a thing. But otherwise, he's just playing a crazy, crazy value game, fatigue game. He's just forcing the initiative on you because he can sit back and pass for days. He doesn't have to interact. You have to come to him. And if he does have to interact, well, he's also ranged, and he can just move up, hit with the winds, and now you're back to square one, where the opponent has to approach him yet again. So, yeah, that's strange. He's stupid. Wong sucks. But I don't know. Post Mist's errata, he's not nearly as bad as he used to be. He used to feel like literally just stupid and unbeatable. Now there is a bit more RNG with Mists because he either is using that and he risks taking big damage. And you can like wait till end game with your like biggest attack. If it's a beast form for Dracula, wait till the end of the deck, and then that Mists can't ruin the beast form, and that means the best he could do. Well, obviously he still has cloaks. There's always like he has a million options. He can literally have everything sometimes, but it is cool to be able to know that in the end game your card is not going to get blanked. So sometimes that's something you can play towards and use to your advantage. But anyways, let's talk about a couple of key interactions that we should expect to be seeing throughout these games. But I think Strange, I don't know. I don't know how much Golden Bat can really do. I think Strange is just going to blow him away, but we'll see. Let's talk about some key interactions. All right, so the first interaction, I mentioned, how Doctor Strange can move up and attack with winds and then blow you guys away to the opposite ends of the board, and then you force the initiative back onto your opponent. But at least Golden Bat has Terrifying Roar, so he's got the cancels like most fighters, but also the Roar is an immediate effect, so fighters cannot leave the space for the rest of the turn, so that will blank the effect of winds. Neither of those fighters will be moving, and so if Golden Bat can force Strange to approach him and be adjacent, like in some kind of pocket of a map somehow, and you almost know that Doctor Strange is attacking with a Winds at that point because Winds is Doctor Strange's only after combat movement effect. And so if you can set up that scenario, play the Terrifying Roar, you know guaranteed you're going to start adjacent to Doctor Strange to be able to get off an attack with your ability online. So that can be pretty good. Obviously, Doctor Strange has the cloak to negate any of Golden Bat's attacks, but you only have so many cloaks. Well, maybe you can have infinite if you recycle them, but after you recycle with Doctor Strange, it goes to the bottom of the deck, so you got to draw into them. That is one thing I didn't mention before with Winds of Watum. It also shuffles the decks, so it lets you use Strange's ability to put cards on the bottom and then shuffle the deck so that they're no longer on the bottom. They could be anywhere. You could draw into it soon after, and that's going to let you find certain key cards a lot sooner rather than having to wait again till the end of the deck to see them back. So something like Cloak, you're going to want to play the Cloak, and then you're going to want to play Winds to shuffle the Cloak so it's not at the bottom. But anyways, if you can roar into a Winds, at least you'll set yourself up to get your ability, and that may help you out in the matchup. All right, and next up, I want to talk a little bit about Sight Beyond Sight. So again, this isn't one of the best cards in Golden Bat's deck, but at least it lets you look at 3 cards, and that can influence the deck order for Strange's blind boosting. And so if you're concerned about blind boosting, like a combo chain, Sight can maybe help set you up. I mean, yeah, if it's a bolts attacking into a Sight, then the bolts blind boosting will guarantee a win since it's a 2 into a 2, but at least you can prevent future bolts, like if he's going for a multi-bolt combo turn, by putting the low boost value on the top so that the follow-up bolts won't be able to hit over whatever other defense you decide to play next. And similarly, if you attack with Sight into Seven Suns, well, actually, if you get like a double attack turn and you attack with Sight first, then you can influence the deck order, and then if you make a second attack, you can almost guarantee that Suns is going to hit like a 1, and maybe they don't want to take the risk of double blind boosting, so they're going to boost 1, and it's going to make Suns a 4. And if you're able to throw, a 7 value attack over a 4 into Doctor Strange, that actually hurts him a ton. So, um, when he's taking chip damage from his ability usage often, if you can land a big chunk like that from just a regular attack, you're feeling really good. So, although it may be very niche, if you're able to somehow set up a couple of cool Sight Beyond Sight plays, you might be able to get a little bit of an advantage there. And the next thing I wanted to bring up is Golden Bat's real win condition. So all you need to do is attack with Vaporizing Eye Beams and not have it get fainted. And you're just going to discard the No Really I'm a Doctor. You have 3 Vaporizings. There's only 2 Doctors. So you're just going to discard both of those, and then Strange won't have any healing, and you're just going to win the game. It's that easy. All right, but for real, Vaporizing Eye Beams is a really good card in the matchup because, again, Strange hates discards because they're cards he's not getting back. So if you use Vaporizing Eye Beams 3 times successfully, not fainted, of course, and you're able to recur it 3 times with Alpine, and maybe Inside of the Ancients might be able to get you 1 back. Of course, that's random, so you can't rely on it. But if you can use 6 Eye Beams throughout the course of a game, that's pretty significant, and Strange might be hurting a little bit in the value game if you're able to get some good hits off the Eye Beams. So definitely wanting to land this without it getting fainted. And if you can set up a scenario where you're throwing this with your ability online, that's even better, because then if it is fainted, at least you're dealing 2 damage over the top each time. And I don't think Strange ever throws a feint on defense if you have your ability online. So I think if you can land Eye Beams with ability, that's a really good card to throw there in those scenarios, because it's probably going to be met with a Cloak, and Cloak doesn't stop the random discard. So definitely something to think about. Maximizing your value from Eye Beams is definitely going to help you out here. All right, and the last one I want to point out here is a Punch to Shake the Earth. And I briefly mentioned this before, but the auto damage is actually really good in this matchup because this card going into a Cloak is still going to deal you a damage, whereas nothing else will do anything against Cloak. Other than Eye Beams, like I just talked about getting the discard, you're just not going to do any damage. So Cloak is a full negate and keeps Strange's health, safe, except for this card. So that's actually a big deal. So you want to be throwing this when your ability's online because, again, Strange is going to be playing the cloak, and so this will deal damage into anything. Even if it's faint, it's going to deal 1 damage over the faint. So it's guaranteed to deal 1 damage minimum if you're attacking with your ability online, no matter what Strange decides to play. Well, as long as you are in Strange's zone, of course. So keep that in mind. But definitely, reusing this a few times could get you a little bit of chip damage and find you, those lethal opportunities. So definitely something to think about because yeah, I mean Captain Planet's great and all throwing a 7, but if it's just going to be met with a cloak or a 7 suns that might just bump up to a 5 or 6, I mean you're risking throwing like your biggest attack and not dealing any damage. So I don't know, it's a little risky, and if it's met with a mists like expecting the 5, then you'd much rather punch, I think, get pulled out and hope to get a bigger like value attack. But honestly, I don't think Strange ever defends with mists when you have your ability online if he has literally anything else to defend with, because that would be a disaster for him because he would take massive damage from anything, and even if it's punch, it's going to deal 2 auto damage because he would win the combat. So yeah, forget I said that. I mean, Strange is never defending with a mist into Golden Bat with his ability online, but as long as he has any other option, which is almost guaranteed to be the case with how much he draws and keeps his hand size up with his ability. But yeah, anyways, Punch is actually really good in the matchup. Can help you kill off Wong as well. You get a 2-for-1, if they're both in the zone, which they're likely going to be, so that they can keep up Master of Kammertage. Um, so yeah, I think this card is surprisingly good. It's better than a lot of other attacks that you have that are just going to literally get full negated. So definitely I wouldn't toss this one away as easily as you might in some other matchups. Definitely keep it in mind. So overall, I definitely think this one is going to be Strange favored. It just looks to me like Strange has all the tools he needs to deal with everything Golden Bat can try and do because he's a melee solo fighter, so he doesn't really have too many tricks. Cloak is just going to be brutal. I think if Strange can just find a lot of cloaks, he's going to be able to easily shut down Golden Bat's attacks even when he's got his ability online. I think 7 Suns does a great job as well, shutting down most of what Golden Bat is trying to do with his big attacks. So I don't see Golden Bat ever really landing enough damage to kill Strange outright. I think he might have to go for more of a value style fatigue win condition, using the vaporizing eye beams to keep recycling and discarding a lot of Strange's important cards, poking with things like Flash of a Golden Light, which, yeah, it gets blanked by the cloak, but then at least you get to move out and, force Strange to do more maneuvers or at least come approach you to try to pull off something with your ability. So I think it's going to be a lot of hit and run, I think, from Golden Bat if he wants to have any chance. But also he has to watch out for the OTK combos from Strange because his defenses aren't the best other than his blues. His blues are fantastic, but the rest of his defenses are pretty lackluster. So without having like any card draw as well, he's going to have to be real careful because Strange could flip the switch at any moment and go aggressive, and the hand disparity is going to kill Golden Bat. So, yeah, I think it's very scary. Golden Bat's going to have to play really carefully. I think him going like YOLO, just super full aggro, I don't think there's any hope of that because it's Doctor Strange and he can just keep using his ability to keep up hand size. And Golden Bat just cannot keep up the continuous pressure in that case. Because if Strange double maneuvers, Golden Bat has to maneuver and boost to be able to reach him. And that means his ability's not online. It means he wasted a card for boosting. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange just gets to maneuver, make sure he has defense. Yeah, it's just seems really, really rough. Um, but I could see Golden Bat maybe winning it in the long game because he is very good at the value game. So I think that's what his game plan is going to be: hit and run, play for value. Strange can do either or depending on the game state and how things are going. How the combat interactions have went. I think if Strange does get unlucky maybe with his defenses and takes a little bit too much damage early on, then maybe he'll have to flip the switch sooner rather than later to try and kill Golden Bat before Golden Bat kills him. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that Golden Bat can at least put up a fight. But anyways, I can't wait to find out. So we're going to be playing against Chad as always. So let's not wait any longer. We'll jump over into the games and see what happens with Golden Bat versus Doctor Strange. All right, welcome everybody to matchup of the month for, I believe this is November. We're a little bit late on this one. I've just been really busy finishing up school, but finally done with that, so feeling good. Got some more free time, so I'm excited to get back into more Unmatched. But as always, I got Chad here with me. How you doing today, Chad?
Doing great as always. Yeah. Love the Christmas season. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, just kind of relaxing.
Yes, agreed. I can't wait for Christmas. I love it. But we got a matchup here. It's Golden Bat versus Doctor Strange, and now Uh, I'm not a huge fan of either of these fighters. Golden Bat, like I don't hate him, but he's seems to be really annoying to face. So I don't know how this one's gonna go, but I've heard that Strange kind of dumpsters Golden Bat. So we'll see if that's true. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He's a solo melee fighter. Doctor Strange typically does really well against those because of things like cloak and whatnot. So I don't know how I feel about this one, but do you have any thoughts going into this?
Yeah. So the problems are less, in my opinion, from the offensive problems from Golden Bat, and actually more just lack of defensive options.
Hmm.
So you have six two value blocks, which generally, nets strange healing with rings, and then also it means that bolts is guaranteed to gain an action,
Ooh.
which isn't the best. Now, sight beyond sight lets you maybe stack your opponent's deck if you wanted to boost again. So there's some kind of tricky stuff you can do there. But in my experience, it's more that it's like, okay, Bat's doing all right, Bat's doing all right, and he gets comboed. He has no defense. He gets hit with rings, and it's over. That's
Yeah,
been my experience with the matchup.
that sounds kind of typical of a lot of Doctor Strange matchups, I feel. But
I think you're right.
yeah, with Golden Bat not having like any card draw, it might be just, exemplified there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do think that Golden Bat has a great value game, but then again, I don't know if it's good enough to handle Doctor Strange's value game because he's notorious for that.
Hmm.
Um, But maybe with Golden Bat recurring things like the random discard, the eye beams,
For
maybe
sure.
Strange hates
Strange hates
discards.
random discards.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you get lucky and knock some key cards out. Like if you just ditch all the rings out of his hand, he can't recur it. Then you got nothing to
Easy.
worry about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy win.
GG.
Yeah.
GG.
So that's what I'm hoping for. That's my game plan. All right, that's my win condition. So we'll see if I can make that happen. But which one do you want to play first?
I was just thinking, I think you have more experience with Strange, so I was planning on playing Bat first,
Okay.
and we kind of go from there, and then we switch it up.
Yeah, sounds good. And what are you thinking about map?
I was wondering, we did Annie Christmas when we were debuting her on Hero. I was wondering if you wanted to try Point Pleasant for this. I'm not sure. I mean, it seems it's pretty good for range, but Bat also generally is pretty all right with that map.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So I don't
down.
really know.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good luck. Have fun.
You too, man. The background music seems very fitting for how I feel about this matchup right now.
I'm gonna attack Wong after teleporting.
Yeah, of course you are. Good thing Wong has 6 health and not 5. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it's gonna be the 7 right off the bat. Just be like, Wong, you're dead.
No, I'll just recur this.
Okay. So you take 1 and I draw 1. That goes to
Yep.
your hand, right? That's really good. That's a great start from you. Holy cow.
And Wong takes 3.
Ouch. All right. So what am I doing? Can I pin you? I can pin you. You fool!
Wong has 3 health. I felt like I'm not worried at all about this.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
And I also have the card that gets me out of PID.
Yeah, that's true. You just recurred it. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'm just gonna have Strange attack you first action. You fool, you think you will win against my blind boost? Aha!
I wanted to force you to have to buy in blues regardless.
Well, now I
Normally,
gain an action, and I will use Strange's ability. I get to
I think it's something like 8
draw
1
one.
boost. Is that right? Feints,
8.
cloaks, and oh no, like rings and your other 4. I think it's 11 1 boost.
That's
If you'd hit a 1 boost there, that would have been like an amazing play.
too many, dude. That's too many.
Hence the recursion.
All right, what now? I'll have Strange attack you again. Oh, come on. Rough.
You gonna boost?
Do I boost it double? Just go all
Wait,
in,
did
just
you
like...
take ability?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
Right.
okay, well, fine. I did it for free. I'm cheating. I don't know how to play Strange. I feel like just going all in for the content. Like I'm
Do it.
already committed turn 1, and Bat has like no card draw except for these, and these are gone. So
Yeah.
I could, you know what? Well, but the most I hit is what? Like if it's 7 or more. Oh, if it's above 7, I ignore. So the best I can do is 2. That's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it. But I
Yeah,
will
don't
take
think
my
it's worth
ability.
2 cards.
I will take my ability though. So I draw 1, right, and then I put this to the bottom.
Technically, you put it on the bottom first, but that only matters in the end game.
Oh, it's an and, so it happens simultaneously. Technically.
Let me put it this way, John. If you want to take fatigue damage and then put it back on the bottom, you
Yeah,
can do it.
right. That sounds great. Oh boy. All right, all right. What are we doing here? Yeah, we're going all in. Give me a new hand.
You got the second one?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Give me a new hand. Give me something good. Let's just blast you to oblivion. I'll have Strange attack you.
Take it.
Oh my god. I'm gonna blind boost. Oh my gosh, there's 4. I'm gonna use ability. So I take a damage, I put this on bottom, and I draw. I'm gonna have Strange attack you again.
Take it.
Oh, blind boosting again. Oh my gosh, there's 5. Sure, you're happy to see that gone though and not let me draw into it.
I don't really care at this point. I think this game's over.
I'm gonna take ability. So this will go to bottom. I'll take my damage. I'll draw a card. And you're at 7. I'll attack you again.
Take it.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. The healing happens first and then my ability, right? Because it's after combat. So then I'll take ability. I will take my 1 damage. I will heal Wong as well because this character's broken.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I'll draw, and it's your turn.
Every night. I can feel
I'm sure everybody's gonna love this.
Maneuver 1, 2,
You're
3.
gonna teleport across the map?
Maneuver. No, I'm just running. 1, 2.
Oh, you
3.
can,
All right,
yeah,
sure.
you can get pretty far. All right, we're gonna maneuver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to you.
You're having the second one really sucked.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Not that it mattered too much, but
Uh,
depending on what your hand was, I was feeling okay-ish.
Well, let's see. This is unfortunate that I have to boost with this, but gotta do what you gotta do. So we'll go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4,
If I had
5.
boosted here, you couldn't have reached me, maybe?
Yeah, true.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
probably
the game
not.
too.
We're just about there. Let's see. Can I finish the job? You have 3 health. Let's hit you with Strange. Jeez.
Double boost it! Double boost
All right,
it!
all right, all right. Hold on. I'll double boost it. Here we go. Ready? Ready? Up. We can't go
Oh, it's
over. We
over.
can't
It's
go over.
over.
It's GG. We got the ones. Health differential. What was that game?
Oh, I played 3 cards.
Oh my gosh, dude. That was
Oof.
insane.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have gone in, but
I
I
felt like your
don't know.
defenses were fine though. Like I don't know. I guess you only had 2 of them,
I
but
had such a. I love this opening.
yeah.
So, but maybe I should have. Maybe I had this, so maybe I should have just attacked along with that and
Yeah.
kept these. So
Save the
my defense
defense.
looks like my hand would have looked like this.
Yeah, because then even if you recur either of these, you're happy, right? Like this is
Yeah.
premium, and then this is what you
Off of
actually
these.
did.
Yeah.
So yeah, either way, I mean, you'd probably
I
be
think.
happy.
I mean, it would have gone so different if you had hit a 1 boost.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy
the whole
how
game was.
that would have changed it that much.
Yes, the whole game was so different. My
Dude.
opening hand was I had the Wong card. I didn't have any of this stuff, but I had the Wong card. I had, I think, 2 Seven Suns. Or
Did
yeah,
you get this off of one of your draws?
no, I had that in opening hand,
Oh, that's so good.
and this.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure this was my opening 5. So if this didn't land, yeah, that would have been huge.
I mean, I also had this. I could have first action defended with this.
Oh
But
yeah,
I thought your first attack was this, and so I thought this was like, I mean, good odds.
sure.
That was my thought. But oh well.
Yeah, that was just insane. Dude, this is like the second time in a row that we've had like some absolutely ridiculous like finisher. Because the Luke Annie one had
The
that
Luke Annie one
ridiculous
was
comeback.
insane.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, came out of nowhere. This was,
This one felt
holy
less.
cow.
Because the Luke 81 was the equivalent of I'm at 3 health, but then I come back and crush you.
Yeah.
This was just a beatdown.
I laugh at your feebleness.
That's right. Yeah, I tried.
In your face, Golden Bat.
And you had 13 health at the end.
Oh my gosh. And Wong was full.
Wong was full.
Oh, Wong
my
OP.
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
right.
All right, well, let's see if something different can happen. All right, good luck, have fun.
Yeah, you too.
Just not too much fun. I want to have a chance.
I know. That's right. In that last game, only one of us had fun.
Hey man, you got to teleport across the board turn 1 and smack Wong. That was pretty fun, I'm sure.
Dude, and recur it. That's like my favorite opening if you can do
See?
it
Yeah.
against people who can't take 7 action turns on their first turn.
So yeah, right. And keep up infinite card draw along the way.
Exactly.
So dumb, dude. What an idiot character. Okay, you good
like
there?
if I was in this position with Yen and I was able to just defensively recur my card over and over again, I would have felt great.
Yeah.
Because all of your action game powerhouse, it costs cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just 1 health.
It's not free. Yeah, it's so dumb.
That's
All right,
fun.
I'm gonna maneuver, and I can smack Wong turn 1, huh? Is that worth? I don't think that's ever
fun.
worth it. I think I just sit in your little hidey hole pocket that you love.
You don't know me.
Yeah, I sure do. Remember our Yen Golden Bat game? You just sat here
Oh.
every turn.
Boy, do I.
I'll maneuver again. And pass to you there. Gotta try and play it a little bit carefully. Oh, you're separating them. Wong's dead.
No. Wong
No.
lives on forever.
Don't know about that.
In our heart.
Let's see. Oh, you're a tricky man. You put Wong on the starting space, so I couldn't put you in the center. And now you're hitting with the winds to blow us away. Uh-huh. I know what you're doing. Question is there anything I can do about it? And I don't think I can. So the wins is what again? I put you and then you put me?
You put me, I put you, yeah.
Yeah, so Strange gets placed, and then you're going to place me all the way on the opposite. All starting spaces, though, are within a single maneuver of Wong. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's why I put
great.
this here, so you couldn't throw Strange there.
Yeah, but now I just get to go beat Wong's face in, so I'll take
Not
it.
an option.
Give me the 4.
Take it?
Yeah.
What?
I don't need health. I need cards.
I needed both. They're both valuable, John.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll put you over there. Okay, my turn.
Mhm.
Maneuver. 1, 2, 3. And smack Wong. Come on, dude. Go ahead. It's because I gave away my strategy beforehand. Dang it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've taught you that strategy.
When I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the master.
Maybe. Should have smacked you with a 5 and punished your dumb feint.
Maneuver. Boost.
Strange is losing cards.
Yeah, it's missed.
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
miss.
you don't want to be using mist unless I'm weak. But Golden Bat is not weak. Let's do this. Oh boy, here we
I
go.
will boost.
So I take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So move up to 5, and you have to gain an action, right? So I probably don't want to end in your zone. Kind of annoying though. I'll go over here.
All right. I'm going to take ability.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to take a maneuver.
No. Your other position was better.
I'll do this, and it'll be okay.
Dang it. You're about to leave Wong open without me being in the zone.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh, I saw it. Okay, so I maneuvered. Now what am I going to do? I feel like I can't do anything at all. Like, what am I doing? So bad. Let's attack Wong. So I take 1. Wow, I forgot this actually bumps to a 4. What a great card. Jeez. I can move 5, 1, 2,
I think pink is where you want to
3,
go.
4, 5. Yeah, because then Strange can't get to me.
Mm.
1, 2, 3. So this one or this one or this. Probably want to be adjacent. Okay, your turn.
I'll maneuver.
Not the shuffle. Oh, I knew it. So stupid. What an idiot card. That's such like a... like, that was not intentional design. Like, they did not want this to happen with that card.
I agree.
Ugh. Disgusting. Like, let me just play a Vanish.
All maneuver.
It's even better than that, right? Doesn't it like add
It'll
2
be your turn.
cards to your deck or something? I always
It's a net even.
it's
So I
net, so it's
started this turn with
advantage,
18, and now I
right?
have 18.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Blank a whole turn. All right, I'll maneuver. I'll boost with this
Your best card.
dumb card.
Okay.
Dumb idiot card.
Your funeral.
It's a terrible card. Attack Wong. And I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay. Your turn.
Maneuver.
Who's losing fatigue now?
Definitely me.
For now. But you're gonna blast me at the end, I'm sure. You're just gonna
That,
OTK.
and I'll ditch this.
Oh, not the Camartage.
Right, and you.
Okay. I will maneuver. Go to your favorite spot. Maneuver again, and your turn.
Alright. I'll maneuver. Strange will attack.
Let's roar. Oh no.
I will.
Please hit a 1. Please hit a 1. I need this. Oh my gosh, let's go! Woo!
Dang. No ability.
That was huge. Alright, alright. My turn, huh? Let's see, let's see. Maneuver. 1, 2, 3. Maneuver. 1, 2, 3. And I will boost with... do I want to boost? Let's see. Wong could hit me, but I don't care about Wong. Well, I have to discard at the end of the turn anyway, so yeah, sure, I'll boost. Make you boost as well. Your turn.
And I'll maneuver and boost.
Trying to outscum the scumbag, and I don't know that it's going to work, but...
It's kind of seeming like it will,
that's
especially
what...
since I started going aggressive, and maybe I should have pulled it back a little bit. I'll strange attack you.
I mean, I don't know,
The
man.
deck counts are pretty rough.
Yeah, but you're strange, so...
It's true.
We'll see. And also, you just might combo me at the end. I don't know. But we're trying, we're trying. I want to laugh at your feebleness.
No boost. I will take ability though.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, I'll maneuver. And... maneuver. End of turn, discard. This seems strange, haha, but discarding this. Goodbye, Captain Planet. Oof. Oh, you missed a point of healing, you fool.
Yep.
You have 3 bolts left. You have 2 double passes left. Do an Alpine. So, shuffle a card back. Let's shuffle back.
I think I should have played less aggressive at the beginning and more just strange-ish. Force you to come in and then aggressive when you do.
Uh-huh. I'm debating between Flash and Feebleness. I think Flash, just to have that
Mhm.
option. It seems really good for playing the value game, just to get in and get out.
It's a great card.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do Flash. I don't know that I need Feebleness necessarily. We'll see, we'll see. Shuffle up, and then I draw 2, and then I move, huh? And now my ability is online. Let's attack Wong.
Attacking Wong.
Yeah.
How much do I care about this?
Don't know, you tell me.
I think I probably want you attacking me at some point. So I'm letting Wong do this. So you actually have to play the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Funny how that works sometimes with sidekicks. It's like Yen. That happens with Yen a lot.
I'll take it.
All right, give me something good, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. D10, reroll on a 10.
I mean, it's gonna be this.
No, please, no. Hey, let's go. Feebleness. That's a great hit. Excelente. I'm a fool, though, and I'm overdrawing here. I didn't consider that. Sometimes I'm just bad. I think I'll get rid of sight. I don't think I need that. Your turn.
All right. I'll have Strange attack you.
I'll take it. Give me the cloak. Hey, that works too.
Works for both of us, I think. Because I didn't really lose much value.
True. Yeah, you lost a health, buddy. Don't forget.
I'll attack you again.
You got me. I couldn't risk a second one.
I'm wondering about. I don't like this card in my deck, but I think I have advantage if I can. I think I will take one.
Okay.
All right, and you're up.
All right. I will attack.
Speak of the devil.
Yep. I knew it. Reroll on 6.
Ooh, good hit.
Hey, my plan is coming to fruition. Remember what I said?
Hit all the rings.
Hit all the rings and easy money.
I'll take a damage.
Yeah. Okay, that's annoying. What to do now? Let's see. I probably just maneuver away, huh? But you can reach every zone. Let's see. I'll attack you again.
No boost.
Okay, so you take 1. I had to do this while I knew you didn't have faint, because it's at the bottom. Ah, come on. Dang it. It's okay, I can recur. I can recur.
Cycle.
Did you take 1 from combat and now from cycling? Okay. And then it's your turn.
I'll attack you.
Let's go. 1, 2. You want to cycle it? Your last one? You gotta.
I mean, you're out of these for the time being.
For now. I will get them back, don't you worry.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'll maneuver. Second action. We'll go there. It'll be your turn.
Okay, I will maneuver. I will go where? 1, 2, 3. Maneuver again. That forces you to adjacency, kind of. Yeah, I'm good there. Your turn.
Maneuver. Maneuver again. Your turn.
What are you doing over there? What kind of defenses you got left? You got 2 cloaks, 2 suns, a feint, and camouflage. Camouflage is basically blank. Miss is basically blank. So 2 cloaks, a feint, and 2 suns. 2 cloaks, feint, 2 suns. That's not that many, actually.
I mean, doesn't he only start with like 12?
Maybe? I don't know. I actually haven't counted his number. It seems like he has infinite. Alright, so you're setting up a turn where you're just gonna double pass on me. So you're gonna be winning in the deck count battle here. That's not great, but oh well. Maneuver, I think, do I just take center so I can hit you next turn? Maneuver again. And that is center, right? That's true center, not just range center?
Correct.
Or are there like 2 center points?
I think there are multiple.
Yeah, but I might as well occupy the ranged one. So, or do I like just come down here so that you really can't like get away? That seems decent. And if you want to attack me, you have to go adjacent. 1, 2, 3, 4. That seems better. Your turn.
All right, I'll maneuver. I'll attack you.
We'll do this. Alright, so I get to look at the top 3 and put them back in any order. Back on top, huh?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
Shuffle our decks.
Oh, that's so stupid. Alright, return to top. That was dumb. What a bad play. I'll put you in the center, though. Good there?
Mhm.
Okay, well, Alpine.
Mhm.
What do I want to get back? Just so I can get around. Yeah, we'll do Alpine. Shuffle up, draw 2. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's you. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I'll attack. And I will go 1, 2. And good there.
Take ability.
Yep. Hold on. Let me think about my... Do I want to go here instead? Yeah, this is better. I'll go there. Your turn.
I'll maneuver. Good here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep.
I'm gonna maneuver. And actually just gonna maneuver again, and I'll ditch earthquake, and it's your turn.
I'm actually gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna attack him.
Let's do this. Guess it doesn't really matter, huh? Because then I can cover up starting spaces, but I don't want to do that because I want to put you in the center one. So, yeah, that's fine. I'll just move here.
Where are you throwing me?
To the center.
Okay. Do I cycle that? It's a 4-value attack, which I like. So I might actually consider it. For 1 health. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I like how it creates space, too.
Where you want to put me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll kick you back there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep.
Alpine. We'll get Flash, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Draw 2. Yeah, we'll go here. And let's attack.
No boost.
Yeah.
Take a damage, and
Your
then I
turn.
gotta figure out if I want to cycle. I will.
You're up.
Mm-hmm. First action, I'll attack you. So I'll stay even and cycle.
Sure.
I'll attack you. Nice.
Let's
Good call.
go. All right. How the heck do we do this?
I got it.
Aha. Smart. You made a new deck. Give me something good. Hey, that's good. I'll take that.
All right, and don't actually take that one.
Oh, right. Okay. Delete the deck, and then I'll take the one out of the discard pile over here. Excellent.
All right, and then do I cycle? I will. All right, and you're up.
Okay. I'm going to attack. Dang.
All right, I'll take a ping.
And I'll maneuver, and your turn.
Yep.
Getting you down to the scary range.
Attack you.
Let's do feeble.
No boost and no cycle.
Awesome.
I will attack you again.
The last piece of junk.
That's right. I will cycle this one.
Excellent.
All right.
And
is
my
your-
turn. I'm going to maneuver. And maneuver again. And your turn.
Maneuver. Maneuver again. And it's your turn.
Gonna get over here. And I will attack.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Let me think about what I have left.
I've got it for you. These and 2 feints.
Okay. We'll just take the center space.
Okay. And then I will cycle.
Okay. Your turn. Wait. I don't need to take the center. I could just take here, and that forces you to be adjacent. So that's better. I'll do that. I don't know if that changes your cycling or not.
No, I don't think so. Maneuver.
Boy, I hope you just don't draw into your cloaks. Come on. It's my only chance.
All right, and it's your turn.
Alpine. Recurring. I think I take the skirmish. Let's get that back. Shuffle up. Draw 2. I go what? 1, 2. I will attack.
Son of
Dang it. Go ahead.
Do I cycle this one?
I
That's the
think you
question.
have it no matter what.
I think so too. You have 1 attack left, right?
Yeah, it's just the skirmish.
I think I do cycle. We'll see if I regret that.
Like, the only hope for me is that you, like, defend with the 7 suns and you hit a 1 for my skirmish and you don't have the cloak. That's a lot to ask for.
Say what?
I said my only hope is that I hit you with the skirmish, and you defend with 7 suns, which means you don't have one of 2 cloaks, and you blind boost a 1, so that I kill you over top.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I'll
is
attack
just
you.
not going to happen.
No cycle.
Yep.
So let's see. Your 3 cards that you could have are this, this, and this. If you have this, you can... Let's see. If you have this and this, you could have it and then attack me. I think I want to attack you regardless. Just to make sure. Is that true? The skirmish could do some shenaniganery. Is that right? Or if I maneuver, am I safe? If I attack you, I force you to have to play something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that...
Because you have a 4 left.
I mean, if I have this, I attack with it every time. If you faint, you can throw this skirmish. All right.
I mean, even a 7 suns kills, so...
I'll attack you. Yep. No cycle.
Yep. And my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you have? 5 cards in deck.
Mm-hmm.
So... One...
If you have it, you have to attack.
Well, yeah, and I don't have it, so I'll maneuver and attack. GG.
Maneuver and attack. Yep.
It's the
So I do
skirmish.
have this.
I needed you to have a 2.
Yep. So I will blind boost it once.
Yep.
All right.
Alright, your turn. Hit me.
I will hit you.
GG. Close.
And
And then I'll die to
I
maneuver.
will cycle for the health. And then I will attack you and double boost
Double
it.
boost it.
Yeah.
What's that? 6?
Yeah.
Good game. That was close.
GG. Yeah, I think it was close because I played a little crazy early.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed it was going to be similar to the last one, and I just didn't need to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're always trying to play a value game, John, and I just think Strange is one of the few people that, like, never works again.
I mean, kinda. It was close. I feel
Yeah.
like I
I
didn't
think
see
if
my...
I was playing full degen, I think I would have won a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, no losing the rings, right? Like, none of the cheeky boosts there, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think as
Probably.
bat, you gotta just get some handy dandy interactions off.
Yeah. I don't think I saw my Alpines early enough, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
was assuming.
I would have went
You were
in.
positioned 4 away a bunch of the turn, and you weren't using them.
I
I
didn't
was
have it.
expecting these to get alpined, I will say.
Yeah.
I like the 2 of these that you picked, and at the end of the game, it didn't matter. You had to choose this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like I wasn't winning the value game by getting rid of your cards. I was winning it by depleting your deck, and that means forcing you to maneuver, and that means take this. Taking this gets rid of value from your hand, but your hand is essentially infinite. So I figured taking away value from your deck by getting out of your zone was more important.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was super annoying to have to boost and chase you down.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. If I can force you to boost, well, okay, I did get a card out of your hand. Yeah, it was the worst card in your hand, but it's still a card, so it did this's job on a low roll and forced a maneuver out of, card out of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also had a stacked hand when you kept rolling these, and yes, you hit the rings, which sucked, but every time you grabbed a card, I was super happy.
I could have got your
sitting on 2 of
schemes.
these,
Dang it.
and you hit me, and I was like, no.
That probably would have turned the game around, actually.
Losing one of these, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Man, I wish. Yeah, I just wish I had more Alpines to just make more of my interactions like matter
Plus
more.
twos.
Yeah, the +2 is a big deal because it forces you to play your good defenses, being your mists, or not your mists, your cloak and your suns. And I couldn't
Mhm.
do that. Like, you just kept being able to defend with, like, feint. And I don't know. There was even like a.
Did I? I actually think I played like Cloak like 17,000 times.
You did play cloak a lot, actually. But.
Did
You.
I ever defend Feint? I don't know if I defended you with Feint.
No?
Did I?
Oh, it was Wong.
Wong
It was
defended
Wong. It was
your.
Wong.
Wong fainted one of these, but I
Yeah, it
think
was
that might have
Wong.
been it.
Yeah, you're right. I think.
I think my only defense plays were this and like 1,000 of these.
Yeah, tons and tons of cloaks. But, like, I didn't. I don't know. I would have risked going in more if I had the Alpines sooner. Because then my attacks matter, like, and I force you to respect it. If I just maneuver up to you and attack, even if you don't have the cloak, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
just
just throw
throws
a
this
feint.
and turn your deck.
Or what was that? Is this mists?
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yes, I just play mists
Yeah,
and churn
yeah.
through your deck.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it doesn't matter what you pull out of my deck because it's all garbage. Because I don't have.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only. I mean, there's hits you're happy with, but you don't. If you give a defense pulled, you're kind of in trouble. I guess if you're threatening this, like it's okay because you can get like some damage off. But I'm not cycling this, so it's not like I'm taking one innately either.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I agree. If you had been able to force more interactions, I think I would have been more scared.
Yeah, looking at
Because I would
this.
have had to, right? I just cycled it, and so I don't have it again. But I had some crazy luck with these. Like after I reshuffled, like that's why I kept taking this back. I'm like, I actually want this to keep reshuffling these right back where I need them. So I kept using this, and I
Yeah.
kept like drawing them after because this shuffles and then
You put it to
cycles,
the
and I kept
bottom,
drawing
you
them like off of
shuffle.
that.
Yeah,
It was like insane.
it's rough. Looking at
Yeah.
the end of this game, I think, yeah, Golden Bat can kill Strange.
Yeah.
Especially on a map like this where you can go, it's a 4-move center, so Alpine. Just
Hmm.
every time, like, you can, Alpine, recur another Alpine just so you can keep doing it, and then all your attacks become big threats, and he has to respect them all. He has to either have the cloak and then cycle it, so that's at least 1 damage there you got, or he's playing these and blind boosting and risking losing
And
important
as
things.
you highlighted, even if you don't have any like big smacks, you can throw this
Yeah,
if you want.
that's
Because if he
good.
actually feels like he does have to play this, then you win no matter what. But then this is 1 damage into anything, literally into anything. And
Yeah,
if it's cloak or whatever, it's like 2 damage, which is your
because he's
best
cycling it.
interaction there.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely think he can kill him. It's more that when you do, if you are going in more, you have to make sure that you also have defenses every time.
Yeah, right.
Because like you go in, let's say you don't move away, he's gonna attack you twice. Like you got to make sure you just have the
Yeah, you gotta
proper
play
stuff.
it careful, yeah. But like these
Yeah,
help a lot for getting in and out, obviously.
yeah. This card is so good, especially
It's
on this map.
crazy.
This map is actually absolutely insane for Bat.
Yeah.
Um, because like just as you highlighted, there are so many pockets he can chill.
Mm-hmm.
That yes, this is a move to center, but it's not like a comfortable. Like Soho feels more comfortable for
Oh yeah,
ranged
big
because
time.
it's a lot easier to still force ranged with these bounces. That's not true on this map.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, especially because like normally I'd be like, oh, I don't care, I'll still hit you, and Robin doesn't care, right? Because he can. I mean, regardless, without going too anecdotal, the biggest thing is then I basically give you this without the Alpine, which is huge.
Yeah,
Give you your attack without the Alpine because I only have one card that moves us away.
right. And
And
it moves within Alpine range, which is awesome.
yeah, that particular because of this map too is huge because you can always throw me here.
Yeah.
Then that's huge.
Yeah, that's a
Always
single
being
maneuver
3 away. I
even.
think it's 3 away.
It is 3 away from all of them. Single maneuver for Bat
Yep.
to reach you. Not that I necessarily want to do a single maneuver and attack because
Yeah.
then I'm not threatening and Mist is online, but yeah. Also, like, if you come over here, like if I'm in the pocket, right, and you hit me, or even here, it's like I'm move 3, so I could double maneuver, and now I'm in purple, and now you have to boost. Well,
Yep.
actually, you wouldn't have to boost there, but I could go like up here,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then you have to boost, and then it's like, okay, now I can, again, move 3, whatever. I can jump around so easy
Yeah.
into the
Definitely
pockets.
for mobility's sake, it's great to run around.
Also, like
Um,
I highlighted a couple times, like when you were in the corners, like, sure, I can take center, but I could also just, like, you can go up here, and the only spot that's really far away is, like, way on the other side, which you have to get way around.
I think when you took center, that would have been. But I think if you do want to take center, you go here or here. Because if you had took here, like this would have like been so good for me.
Yeah, because I'm standing on the center spot.
Yeah, so you have to kick me to one side, and I kick
Yeah,
you to the
exactly. So
opposite.
definitely in this matchup on this map, you want to stay off of that if you are worried about the
And this is a center too. This is a center, because this is actually move 3 center, except for one space right here.
right here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
So often, and it's crazy. So if you are here, it's move 3 center from
Except
everywhere
here,
except these two, I think.
2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So if if your opponent like holes up here, if they're like a solo fighter, you can double maneuver, go here. If you're like, like I did it in the Moon Knight like Jill matchup when I was playing it with Kiet. Um, like if Jill's sitting here, she's not going to be able to make it up here.
Yeah, right.
Like
Except for like
so,
a super extreme double maneuver, double boost, which is like
exactly. So you're like
so
guaranteed to get it for Conchu. Like you just position in whichever corner
right.
um, you want to be in.
This map is so much more impactful, I think, than people give it credit for. Like the stuff we're talking about right here is so important for like competitive play for certain fighters. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, actually, now that I say it, I think I misspoke. This isn't move. This isn't move 3 from here. It is move 4, but it's not move 3 from this corner.
Right. But these two are the diagonals.
With those two, yep. So you bounce here. But yeah, no, I agree. I think one thing too highlighted about this map is I cannot hide sidekick. I think it's why Jill actually prefers other maps.
Yeah.
Um, because if I want to reach Daisy, I can. You'll force me to boost, but it's not like Sherwood
Right.
or
Because
like
there's no
Hero or whatever, where you
corridors.
can actually make it undoable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if where's Wong? I mean, he was toasted early. But like let's say I'm here, like I can't, like this is the hardest I can make it, and that's still like 4. I
Yeah.
think actually it's something like this maybe, but 1,
Right.
2,
5.
3, 4, 5. You can do that. If I do here, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like there's no way to hide a sidekick. So like this map, it changes the game for solos in my opinion, because of that. The biggest problem are sidekicks and and ranged. And I feel like this map kind of negates both of those.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily negate like a bunch of sidekicks, like Medusa, kind of thing. But it's harder for Medusa to, like, you can't just body block with one heartbeat and keep her safe, right? Like
Right.
she's still in trouble there. But then like you can just posture in these positions that we highlighted, and just like if Medusa's here, this is move 3 away. This forces adjacency.
Yep.
Like you have to move 4
Huge.
spaces to get outside of adjacency.
Yeah. Medusa
It's
would have to boost, which is crazy.
it's absolutely insane.
And like then, if you want to, if you're playing value, I mean, you can get way the heck over here if you're a move 3, and then now she got a boost again. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And she's not in the. That's like the one zone hard. There are 2 hard zone cutoffs on this map, I think. No,
Here,
3.
here,
1, 2, and 3. And so like
here's
if you can
4.
posture on those. Oh, never mind. There's more than that. So
But they're weird
this is the
ones.
one I always know about, because I always position in this way against Jersey Devil, so he doesn't discard all my cards.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I think this personally was more of a spotlight of this map than the fighter matchup necessarily.
Really cool though. Really cool.
It's a great map.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan personally, just because none of my fighters are good on it. Really, like.
Yeah.
Bigfoot, there's not a lot of zone cutoffs for Bigfoot to get his ability. Yen has that move 2 range center, but it's too easy to just, you know, like you said, force the adjacency in the pockets, and Widow can't corral you, and yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not good for any
I
of my
play,
people.
you know, a lot of Golden Bat and
Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight and such, so I love this map.
Yeah, and Houdini,
You
who
know,
doesn't care
Tesla
about
enjoys it
map.
as well.
Yeah, Tesla's really good here. Yeah, it's a cool map.
Very cool.
Very interesting. Not my
Yeah, well,
favorite,
thanks
but
for the
cool.
game. We had a long drawn out one and
That was good. Yeah,
basically a quick
I'm
one.
really happy with how this turned out. Actually, I thought it'd be a lot worse than it was. Like we got an awesome OTK kind of style, and then we got the long drawn out one, which was still a really interesting and close game. So
Yep.
it was fun.
Very
A lot more fun than I expected.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for playing as always.
Yeah,
Looking
thanks
forward
for
to the
having me.
next one because that one is another of the TTA fighters. We won't reveal it yet, but I think
Okay.
I think I messaged you about it.
I
But
don't think so, but I
no?
could be wrong.
All right, it's gonna be a really good one. I'll message you, but
Okay, all
can't
right,
wait to play
excellent.
that one.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, guys, there you have it. That'll do it for Matchup of the Month November. And wow, what a game that first one was. That was just a blast. I'm really happy we got to showcase that because in the second game, you saw maybe more of a standard Doctor Strange game style where he likes to just be annoying, force the initiative on you, and just sit back and play towards fatigue because he's got like some of the craziest passes in the game. And he can just get so much value recycling his cards at the cost of 1 measly health. So a lot of times he likes to play that slow grindy game, which we did get to see a bit in that second game. But also on the flip side, that first game was very explosive. That was a lot of fun. So I'm just really happy that it turned out that way and we got to show that off because that is the two sides of Doctor Strange and part of the reason why he is an S tier fighter and so incredibly deadly because he can just pretty much do it all. So really cool to see. I hope you all enjoyed that one. And be sure to give the video a like if you did, and please subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And please consider supporting me on Patreon, where you can cast your votes for future Matchup of the Month episodes. That helps me support my editor, Darkblade, and it helps me just keep bringing you guys content. Even though my free time's at a minimum, I want to keep this going. So please consider supporting me on Patreon. Any amount helps. Big thanks to all of you out there, patrons and everyone else. So the support is just awesome. Keeps my channel going, that's for sure. So keep it up, guys. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave some comments down below. Have you tried this matchup out? Do you think it goes any differently, or do you think Strange usually walks away with this one? My money's on Strange, but if you have a different experience, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. But that's going to do it for this one, everybody. So thanks again for watching. I'm ZeroSkater12, and I'll see you next time.